Amarula cream liqueur, and its story goes to the very heart of South Africa.
The very first point that makes Amarula unique is that it's made from a tree, a fruit that grows on a tree that is indigenous to southern Africa. So the marula tree you only found south of the equator in Africa, in the northern parts of South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and into Malawi further up. And it grows completely wild. At the moment there are no cultivated marula trees. And the fruit ripens and is harvested only for 6 weeks on the tree. And because these trees all grow out in the wild, there's no formal method of picking them or harvesting them. So we work with communities that live amongst the marula trees out in the bushveld and the savanna plains, who then pick the fruit and collect them, bring them to central points where we can then collect the fruit and then start using it in the marula process.
It's a fascinating story and an incredible product. The marula tree grows on the plains of southern Africa. As Steinman mentioned, it's uncultivated, but prized by both man and beast. Natives believe the marula fruit has the qualities of an aphrodisiac and has been dubbed the marriage tree by local tribes. It's also called the elephant tree, as elephants are known to eat the fruit in mass quantities, which not only helps spread the lore of the marula tree, but helps spread the seeds of the marula fruit through the elephant's dung. I know it's not very romantic, but it does ensure the continued presence of the marula tree throughout sub-equatorial Africa. The relationship between the tribes and villages and Amarula cream liqueur is an important one. Villagers supply the plant with the precious fruit, and the company obviously pays.
Out in our rural communities that mainly comprise of Sotho, Tsonga, and Venda women, close to 6,000 women annually between the months of January and March collect the fruit out in the wild, bring it to a centralized collection point. It will be paid for immediately and then be brought to our processing facility in the back here for classification, washing, and then pulverization.
But the relationship runs much deeper than the collection, sale, and processing of the fruit. For example, the marula seeds are returned to the villages where they're converted into oil extractions used for aromatherapy and makeup products. What's more, money is put back into the villages in the form of construction and healthcare facilities. The idea is that the long-term economic and physical health of the natives is good for everyone.
The wonderful thing is that nobody has to wait to get paid. You've got something that grows out in the wild. You don't have to water it. You don't have to look after it. It actually looks after you. Money growing on trees that drop from the tree each year, and that is then ready for collection.
The Amarula tree is prolific. Each tree can yield up to 3 tons of fruit, but it's ripe only once a year, and as we've heard, harvested over a 6-week period. So how are they able to produce Amarula cream liqueur year-round? The secret to that can be found at the distillation plant, halfway across the country. From the plant up north, the pulp of the cooked marula fruit is trucked to Stellenbosch outside Cape Town, where the final product is made. The pulp is kept at a low temperature to control fermentation. The distillation process is started right after fermentation to protect the fresh flavors of the marula fruit. That's done in column stills, a much faster process. The real secret comes in the second distillation, done in small copper pot stills. The first distillate can be stored so that the second, slower distillation can take place throughout the rest of the year to ensure a constant supply of Amarula cream liqueur. Amarula cream liqueur is rather new to the spirits world. There had long been a marula beer in South Africa made and consumed by local tribes. A marula-based spirit was created in the early 80s, and a cream liqueur developed from that in the late 80s. What starts in the plains of sub-equatorial Africa ends up in the bottle, where it's shipped to some 90 countries around the globe. That's pretty cool, no matter how you look at it.
On a personal level, what do you enjoy about your involvement with Amarula cream liqueur?
I always find working in a production environment is very rewarding because you get to work with something that is actually tangible that you see in front of you, and I think any person in the distilling industry worldwide probably finds working in it so rewarding because you can actually see, smell, and taste the products. You're using more than one sense in appreciating what's being made.
They call Amarula the spirit of Africa,